Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I do want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai Ba'Shem Kakdash, to want to see apostles and else great millstone for teaching us this truth, peace, and blessings to the hope like Israel. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, named Hebrew. Ba'Shem is the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son. Back on our lesson, as you see within the title, streamers are the new celebrities. And I want to say I had a lesson titled similar to this, if I'm correct, but I'm going to use it, the title either way. It's fitting to the point we're making throughout this lesson of what these streamers are especially going to be used for. Because you have people like IShowSpeed and Mr. Beast, as you see right here in the video, your Kai Cenats, Rakai, Aiden Ross, SQC, all these big name streamers are most definitely going to be used in order to promote certain agendas. And I was originally going to title lesson I think celebrities or streamers / influencers would be used to promote the MOTB, because that last lesson I had titled pretty much what I have now. One of the points I brought up was dealing with this streamer IShowSpeed, where he's doing a traveling pretty much across the world, which is kind of what he's doing right now. But one of the segments, which is a little part in the stream that they do to entertain the audience or to show off particular things, which is what they used IShowSpeed for in order to promote this robot that the person was able to control with a VR headset. And I just made an example out of that, how these streams will be used to promote these things, especially when it comes to the MOTB. Because these streamers are willing to do anything for fame, for praise, attention, views, likes. These people go crazy over this type of stuff. And I do want to get this video as an example before it refreshes. This is where Kai starts stream by transforming to white chicks. And you have the younger generation, the younger audience that is tuned into these streamers. That's why I wanted to make the title, Streamers Are the New Celebrities. Now you will have these streamers that will go out and attract hundreds of people. And yet you have these celebrities today that can't garner that type of attention, which I'm gonna get that point from the brother's video after this. But this is kind of old, but the point still stands, because this is one of the videos I was wanting to grab for a lesson and going to show what these streamers are going to be used for. Because now this is going to be pushed onto the younger audience that are impressionable, that are a bunch of sponges, that will see this and think it's okay, that this is funny, this is cool to do, that this is normal. So going back to that point, just to bring it home, these streamers will be used to push and promote these particular wicked agendas, to promote confusion. You already have brand deals going out. I believe Kai Cenat has a Nike deal, and other streamers have these big brands, Adidas. This is why they can't speak on or say certain things, or else they will lose everything. So going to show, they sold out. They took the bag. Also, speaking of you false prophets, man, you others like camps that took the bag, that are now pushing and promoting false doctrine. But just down the main points, get this video just to go show how through Jake is, because this is a Jake right here, which Jake short for Jacob. Speaking of the Israelites, show you how through our people are. Wearing a skirt, a wig, through. And wasn't this being pushed onto the younger audience? As you already see, in today's society, with what's being pushed and promoted within these schools. And like I said, you see how impressionable these children are. They'll do these, memes and make jokes that these streamers say. You even have NFL players that will do, particular dances these TikTokers and streamers do, So you have a lot of people that look up and idolize these people. And you think this devil's going to let this go, untouched, unsupervised? I mean, this is irritating. Take me through that, take me through that. Take me through that, take me through that. And even without this, he still acts like a woman. Out of order, rebellious. I mean, look at this. Humiliation ritual, and that's another thing that's heavily pushed, especially doing with these celebrities in order to obtain fame and praise. Guess what? There's things you got to do, especially speaking of these streamers, which is just often wicked. And we're seeing this with being, pushed, promoted onto the younger audience, because that's who is tuned into these streamers. What's being pushed and promoted all over TikTok. You can find other examples like that, but get a couple minutes of this brother's video, streamer's dedication, and I'm trying to get this little clip right here, and I want to jump to 3 minutes, which is one of the main clips I was going to get.
It's all your favorite streamers collabing with Mr. Beast.
Here, can you hold on?
And that's also another lesson I was wanting to make. That's why I wanted to add in how they're being, used to push and promote the, MOTB, that agenda. Because you had Mr. Beast have a whole video promotes healing people via the Neuralink, pushing how people that are, paralyzed will be able to move and walk again and all these various things. So, and he garners over 100+ millions of views. More than that. Matter of fact, he's one of the biggest YouTubers right now. So they're going to be used to push and promote what's in these particular agendas, as I keep saying, as I'm going to keep repeating. But you're gonna have people say, you're looking into it. They're having fun. They're doing things for the good.
Alright. This is the new Hollyweird.
Come on in.
Hollynet.
No. They're all real.
And I want to say I made a similar lesson where you had the streamer called Your Rage. He went on stream with another Mo, streamer. They did a collab. He went in a bathtub with that dude and went to a drag event. So you ultimately see the idea. You see what's being done. And as I made that point, these streamers are willing to do anything for attention, the spotlight, the views. Like, these people will literally go crazy over this type of stuff.
That's Agent. You got Lacey.
I'm about to trap your favorite.
You think Mr. Beast worked hard to get them millions of views? Them billions of views on YouTube? You think he just cracked the algorithm?
You also have what they call a plant. I think it's some along with that, but it's somewhat of a plant. Which I think Rakai is most definitely one of them, which he was picked up by Kai Cenat. He put on a lot of bugged out Jakes that now have platforms. But let's jump to 3 minutes.
Time for me. This when I first started seeing him. When the with the beef between Drake and Kendrick. He started coming up around that time. I saw him reacting to it and how it went viral. So, okay, fast forward. Mind you, these people now have the Jews. They are now the new puppets. They are going to garner attention from hundreds of thousands, some even millions of children, and their jobs are to lead your children. This is why I tell Black American parents, you can't be mad when the streets take over your kid when you're not intercepting. So they're going to get these streamers, then they're going to let a whole bunch of them up, but just enough to have enough control.
And you see this streamer right here in the background, Black Boy Max. Now he's getting all types of surgeries. I believe he got, some cheek piercings, nose piercing. And you see where he got a vasectomy. And also now he's speaking of getting a butt reduction. These dudes are bugged. But you see how this is now being normalized. Painting your nails, wearing women's clothing. Got that one TikTok of that bugged out Jake. And that person made that point of a humiliation ritual.
These streamers are going to be able to control them. You want to know what that looks like? Let me show you this. Let me show you what it looks like.
Hollywood is terrified of the power of these streamers, bro.
I'll tell you this right now, and I know this for sure. I've met all these guys in Hollywood since I got in the movie business. Hollywood is so scared of you and all your buddies.
Seriously.
They are so scared of you and Kai and Aiden. You guys are commanding all the attention.
And you wonder why they're getting these millions of dollars of deals. And why do you now have these NBA players, NFL players collabing with these streamers?
In the world, you're so much bigger than like Leonardo DiCaprio. That guy makes a post, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. Your stuff is hundreds and hundreds of millions, which is why I'm really delighted to meet you.
That's crazy to hear that.
But that's the point. Let's get into these scriptures. Like, this shouldn't be too big of a lesson. Somebody was meditating on. I seen that brother's video, having a collage and compilation of videos. So that's the spirit. But 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11, it says, "Let Satan sugar and avenge us, for we are not ignorant of his device." So we see where this devil is playing at. How these streamers, which are the new celebrities, will be used as these celebrities have been used. As you kind of had dealing with back in 2020, dealing with the lockdowns, the juice that was being promoted. These celebrities were used to promote it. I mean, you had Michael Jordan promote it. As you get the NLT, says, "So that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with these evil schemes." We know how this devil plays, what he's playing at. It's Matthew 15:4 says, "Let them alone, they be blind leaders of the blind." And as I keep making that point, throughout this lesson, is how these streamers are going to be used to push and promote these particular agendas, to promote the MOTB, to promote confusion. So don't be surprised if they get scripts to say and go into particular things, Which I believe Elder Pastor Hart made a point, of these people within these churches. I mean, given a script pretty much on, the chariots and the MOTB as to what to say when there are questioned. And you see within these, streamers, live streams, they'll refrain from speaking on and going into, certain things, won't proclaim their views as to what they really think. They're nothing but puppets, shells. They do what they can in order to gravitate towards the people, as you see, especially with these women streamers. It's all, PR. They appeal to the audience. But let them alone, they be blind, leaders of the blind, and to blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. And you see I Show Speed, his streams, you have people chasing after his car that he's riding in, and so you see how these people idolize these people. This is Proverbs 11:4, and it says, "Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death." So these riches, the bag, they'll all come to naught. Especially these false prophets that have sold out and have took the bag, thinking that this devil's going to preserve a spot for you on this side. But also, as we're speaking on this, let's deal with these streamers, these celebrities, especially what's his name, Floyd Mayweather. He's all about the money, the paper. That's why you get in the scriptures, Mark 8:36. For what shall the profit of man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? And as I made that point, you see what these people are willing to do for money, the bag. As you had that one recent clip where you had Terrence Crawford and that one, I think it was a football player, where he said he'd pretty much give his soul for what, $10 million, $100 million, I forget the exact amount. And Terrence Crawford made that point. Well, now we know your character. And now we know who you are. But the things that you're willing to do. This is why you see the morality of these people, or it's out the window, it's gone. They have sold out. And what do you benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul? But this is one of the points I was going to give right here, Luke 6:24. It says, but woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Hey, you got your prize, you got your reward. And this is NLT. What sorrow awaits you who are rich, for you have your only happiness now. Who the GNT says, but how terrible for you who are rich now. You have had your easy life. And you got two more scriptures, and that'll be the point. These riches are going to come to naught. You're seeing the dollar continue to lose its value, and you had that. These streamers are now calling themselves a core, which a few big streamers. You got this $20 million house. You're having to pay however so much a month. So these people that want to keep this lifestyle, that want to keep this status of being on top, of being popular, like I said, having that fame and praise, these people want to be doing things in order to keep that. To keep that lavish lifestyle. So you can imagine these things people are doing when that is threatened. Isaiah 5:20 says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness light and light for darkness, but bitter sweet and sweet for bitter. So I want to push that point across how it's all backwards. It's all jumbled up. And wickedness is praised within this place. Because you have these streamers that will heavily push and promote wickedness. So they stand with these wicked things. And if they don't outright say it, going to show that they don't want to speak on these things. They don't want to lose that lavish lifestyle once again. So when they're told to sit, they're going to sit. When they're told to speak, they're going to speak. This is Psalms 82:5 says, they know not, neither understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. So it's all out of whack. And we are in a bizarro world. If you know anything about Bizarro, he's the opposite of Superman. Made that point in Isaiah 5:20. Wickedness is the standard within this place, so it's all out of whack. We're in the upside down if you've seen, Stranger Things. But that's the point. I came across that brother's video, that compilation. And I seen that because I want to make this lesson a day or two ago. You had the title, saved in my notes. So that's the spirit, the brother made that. And also I remember that Rakai video. So you see how these streamers are going to be used to push and promote things. Because they are now the new celebrities. The next pretty much big thing. But that's it right there. Your Lord's will is edifying and doing close out. Give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Shema Shabbat, Shem Dash, and Shalom. See you next one, Lord's will.